Hello everyone, this is PK Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you, and this will be a review of Pam and Tommy. Now there will be spoilers throughout this review for the entire series, so just beware when going into this overall video. Now the setup of Pam and Tommy is that it's a biographical series telling the true life story of famed actress Pamela Anderson, who we remember from the Baywatch 90s series, and drummer Tommy Lee from the rock band Motley Crue. Seemingly happily married, their lives were rocked apart when a sex tape made by themselves was stolen and released to the public. The series itself was based on a Rolling Stone article titled Pam and Tommy, the untold story of the world's most infamous sex tape, which was written by Amanda Chicago Lewis. The series was released on Hulu on February 2nd, 2022 and was created by Robert Siegel and consisted of 8 episodes. Now the story initially starts with renovator Rand Gautier feeling aggrieved after Tommy Lee refused to pay for him for the work that he did within his mansion, and how after he was disrespected and threatened with a shotgun by Tommy Lee, Rand then proceeds to break into the mansion and steal the tape. After failed attempts to sell the tape to porn studios because of a lack of release forms, Gautier discovers the emergence of the internet within the early to mid-90s and decides to set up a website to release the tape's footage. The story then shifts to Pam and Tommy, showing how they got together, discovering the tape's existence and trying to conceal it. We later see things getting worse when the owner of the Penthouse magazine, Bob Cuccione, gets the tape and tries to distribute it on a much larger scale. Pam and Tommy try to sue him but end up losing the lawsuit, and they eventually have to come to terms with the tape being legally allowed to be viewed by the public. Now overall, I'd say Pam and Tommy is a fun, light-hearted, entertaining miniseries. The tone itself is very much of a comedy drama. They don't go for a dark, gritty approach, as perhaps they have fictionalised certain elements of the story, and I think overall it makes the show far more watchable. At the same time, the showrunners pay proper respect to both lead personalities, presenting the couple as very much of a carefree, innocent, mostly naive, and this direction taken makes you sympathise with both Pam and Tommy, and for the most part you root for them to try and stop the tape getting out to the public. We now have to talk about the best element of the show, and that's the casting, and in the lead roles, Sebastian Stan and Lilly James are absolutely fantastic. As mentioned before, they bring about such a likability to the characters, they have a fantastic energy and charisma together, and even diving into the weaker episodes, you'll still keep watching overall because of the chemistry between the two actors. We especially have to mention how amazingly they look like the real life personalities, in particular Lilly James, who generated much interest within the show with her incredible transformation into Pamela. It's truly dazzling and quite bewildering how much she looks like Pamela in her prime. There were many times throughout the series where at a momentary glance you actually think it's Pamela on screen. We know that actress Lilly James had to go through several hours of makeup and prosthetics to get the look of Pamela, and I fully respect that so much, as I do think as well as performances it's also important that the actors do look like the people that they're portraying. It just adds a certain authenticity to the story. And in terms of visualization, I would put Lilly James' performance as Pamela Anderson right up there with the likes of Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison from The Doors, and also Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, as amongst the best recreation of famous celebrities. In the other main roles, Seth Rogen I think was fine overall as Gautier. To be honest, as with a lot of his roles, he's essentially playing himself, that typical stoner, loser type of personality. And to be honest, he was a bit more of a pitiful character, not quite as likeable as what Pam and Tommy were. In terms of the main flaws of the show, perhaps it's slightly overlong. I did feel that 8 episodes was too much, as some episodes do drag, like the showrunners were struggling to find enough material for each of the episodes' 40 to 50 minute runtime. There was perhaps too much focus on Gautier, as we didn't really need to know anything about him after the first 2 episodes. After those 2 episodes, the priority should be focused on Pam and Tommy, and I think Gautier's continued involvement actually takes the emphasis away from the 2 characters. Had they focused far more on Pam and Tommy, I think the series would have been leaner and better paced for it. And personally for me, I wish the show had shown the full story, essentially what happened after in terms of the couple separating and divorcing. If you read into the backstory, incidents of physical abuse, and actually Tommy went on to serve a suspended sentence in prison. The couple did reunite many years after separating, and then separated once more. So there was so much more to tell in terms of the fallout of the incident, yet the show centered around the sex tape scandal only, and because of that I just felt there was a struggle to sustain the 8 episode run, and even by the time we get to the finale, and the conclusion to the series, it kind of just feels flat because overall there's no real mileage that you can tell surrounding the sex scandal. I think you really had to go beyond that and try and go for a much more rounded conclusion as to what happened to the individuals after the event. And I personally feel had they done this, it would have provided the series with a far more satisfactory conclusion overall. So if I had to give an overall score for Pam and Tommy, I would give it a 6.8 out of 10. As I said before, it's a very light, brisk, comedic, and overall very watchable series, aided by two amazing performances from both Sebastian Stan and Lilly James, who in particular has to get a special mention for her incredible transformation and performance as Pamela Anderson as well. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings on Pam and Tommy. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that this story fully did justice to the incident, or do you think they left a lot out and they should have gone for a far more serious, far more intense focus on the actual events? It's recently been confirmed that Pamela Anderson will be working together with Netflix on a documentary to tell her side of the story, since she decided not to participate or be involved within the construction of this series. So it will be interesting to see when that document releases how much the show actually stayed true to actual events. But if you have any other further thoughts on this, then let me know in the comments. If you like this review and you'd like to see me cover more shows like Pam and Tommy, then let me know in the comments of any further suggestions, and I will see if I can provide a commentary on those shows as well. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.